Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you are denying funny face.
It's not my brother.
Today you are denying funny face.
I don't know him.
You don't know funny face.
It's not my brother.
You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
Mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
My advice to the motorists, pedestrians, drivers on our roads today is to be patient. patience. Even the Bible says, let patience have its perfect work, that you may be complete and perfect, lacking nothing. If you have patience on our road, be patient enough to cross the road when you're about to cross. Be patient enough when you're driving and you get to the zebra crossing. Be patient enough when you're using the motorbike, when you get to the traffic light. Be patient. Be patient on the motorway. When we are patient like that, we'll get to our destination safely and we will lack no one. We will lack nothing. We will lack nothing. No soul will be lost. No life will be lost. Don't let someone's divine purpose come to an end. Don't let someone die prematurely because of your impatience. Please, let's renew our minds and be patient. My name is Yaosiki. Do the right thing. Save a life.
My mother especially was carrying me from one church to another, one prayer camp to another, one shrine to another. We prayed for, but we came back home, I wasn't healed. I crawled in the sun and I became so dirty, very sweaty, and nobody would sit by me because at the school there's this mono desk where two people sit and I was alone on my desk. When I got back home, I told my mother and my father that I think that it's okay. It's okay to I told them, why am I going through all these challenges?
Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio and today we're coming to you straight from the Second South Gym here in Accra. Well, our guest for today is someone who has held the IBF Bantamweight title on 2 occasions and also held the Commonwealth title as well as the IBO title. Guessing who this boxer is? Well, you're taking a short breather and when we return, I'll introduce the boxer to you as well as delve into the discussion. Welcome back from the break, and my guest today is Mr. Joseph King Kong Agbeku. Welcome, champion. How's everything going?
Everything is going well by grace.
It's been a long time we saw you in the ring. Was it as a result of COVID or?
Yeah, everything has come to a shutdown due to COVID. So COVID has destroyed a lot of plans.
What was your plans before the COVID came in? What was your plans?
I was supposed to fight in Vegas 25th of April for the WBO final eliminator, and then everything got cancelled because of COVID, and we've been struggling to come back properly. Wow.
So since then, have they decided to postpone the bout, or have you heard from the promoters as well?
Things are going on. We're still pushing, so yeah.
Nice one. But first of all, my main point of discussion for today is how did you get into boxing? Because a boxer of your stature, like, you know, people see boxers to be tough and all looking, but you look calm and all that. How did you get into boxing?
Boxing has different weight categories. It starts from straw weight to light fly, all the way up to heavyweight. And there are people who are smaller than I am, way smaller than I am. So, yeah, so size doesn't really matter in boxing. I got into boxing because of my name. My name is King Kong. That is my real name by birth. So that was what pushed me into boxing.
Wow. Which area did you grow up from and all that?
I was born in Sukura, and I started boxing when I was there.
Boxing in Sukura. I thought boxing was made for the people, like a lot of people in Accra box in Bukum and stuff. So
yeah, so I always have to run away from home and come and live in Accra Central for some time. Then my parents will look for me, find me, take me back home. So it's been back and forth.
Did they believe in boxing? Did they support you?
Every African parent's mentality is to put their children into school, educate them, and grow through the way they want, you know. But I believe everyone has their secret, passion or some talents hidden in them secretly. So if they are being exposed to everything, they'll be able to discover their talents. So during the beginning, they didn't want me to be a boxer. First of all, I have to wake up early morning to go for jogging and so on, and they feel it's unsafe for me as a child. I was around 8-9 years.
Really?
It's too unsafe for me. And then traveling all the way from Sukura to Fire Service Training Center.
Were you taking car?
Yeah, I was taking car. So it was kind of tough for me. I have to run away, live in Accra. My parents will come and find me, take me back home. So it was a struggle, yeah.
So who was the coach who discovered you and brought into boxing?
I met a man called Black Ome in Shiabu. So he is the one that took me to my first trainer who taught me how to stand. He's called Coach Amalai. He lived in Mamplobi. So that was where I started before coming to Fire Service. And then I started with Coach Anansi at Fire Service, and then he transferred me to Coach Parry. So from there, before I met Coach Alowe and Adamade, Coach Asari, who was our national team trainer then till to today. So I've gone through a whole lot of process as a boxer.
Wow. Do you remember your first boxing fight? At what age was it?
I was a juvenile boxer. I can't really remember. I was a juvenile boxer. I think we had a fight in either Kwame Nkrumah Circle or a fight in Takrade. There was, I can't remember which one was the first one. Yeah, but I was a juvenile boxer. I've been a juvenile boxer for some time before moving to amateur. I was under the Street Academy, which is being owned by Mr. Okuata. We call him Blatter. He has the Street Academy at the Art Center, so we were all groomed under him as a juvenile boxer.
Do you remember some of the boxers you grew up with?
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of very talented fighters. Yeah, very, very talented fighters.
Do you remember any of them?
I remember all of them.
Kindly name some of them so
there's one called Alfred Odai. I met him at the juvenile boxing level. He's very strong. He fights like Azuma Nelson. I learned he's also related to Azuma Nelson. I met Malik Jaber.
Oh, really?
They were my seniors when I came because they've already been in it and they are so good. But when I came, I want to fight all of them. And they will tell me, no, you're a baby, wait, don't fight this one. You know, I want to fight Fedoda, I want to fight Malik. They will tell me, no, you're a kid, you just can take your time. But I still also want to, so they always put me there with them and they beat me a lot.
But you never give up?
No, boxing is not like going to school and becoming a pastor. You know, boxing is not like that. Boxing is something that has to grow in you. It's a passion. It's a calling from God. When God doesn't call you to be a boxer, you can't do it because that passion has to be born inside you. Boxing is like very, very tough. It's a sport where you go into the ring and you don't even know if you will come out alive. If you go into the ring, you are sure you will definitely come out with some wounds, some bloody mouth, some bloody nose. That one is constant.
I've heard so many boxers.
You know, so it's a sport that when they put you there, if it's not a calling from God, if the passion is not in you, on the first day you go back home and you never come back again. But you go, they beat you, you come back again. You go, you see your blood, you still come back again. That means God has called you to do this, and you do it with all your heart.
I've seen a lot of Ghanaian boxers say boxing is a crazy sport. Even Joshua Clottey said boxing can make you mad. Is it a fact?
I don't agree with any of them. Boxing is a sport. It's a sport we love so much. You know, in every fighter's life, right, you can talk to any fighter who has said boxing is bad, or boxing is a crazy job, or boxing is this. Ask all of them. Boxing is a sport where anytime your manager or your promoter calls you and tell you that I have a fight for you in 3 months, in next 2 months, that day is one of the most happiest day in your life. Once your manager tells you or call you that you have a fight, we have a fight on this date, then you know you have a job. Then you know you have something to focus on. You know you have something to train for. That passion in you to do it, it makes you enjoy that day, makes you happy. And through that time till the fight night, you are always happy till the fight night. So boxing is a game for the passionate ones.
But boxing will not make you mad.
Boxing can never make you mad. Everything can make you mad. Everything can kill. Even when your girlfriend disappoints you, you can go mad, you know. So anything at all can get you mad or can kill. Do you get me? I believe as a boxer, for you to stay healthy, for you to always live your life properly, I think you always have to be ready before trying to fight. Most fighters, some fighter can go off holiday for 2-3 weeks, and then he jump in the gym. The first week, he want to spar. His muscles are not ready. His body is not ready. But he believes in himself. He feels good. He wants to spar someone. He get inside. They put him with somebody that he can beat. He beats the person. The person touches him with light punches. Even those light punches to the body is not ready for it. Those are the things that gives you negative effects gradually. So once you are prepared, once you work out hard, once you are fit, your head is ready, your body is ready, everything is ready, you can take any punch and you will not go mad.
So still staying with you as you were growing up as a boxer, at what time was the turning point for you as a boxer that you shot to fame all of a sudden, because you were fighting in Ghana, then you went to the African level, and before we saw you at the world. At what?
Yeah, I never saw anything like shooting to fame to me. From my boxing career, from the beginning, people has always loved me. People has always believed in me. People know I can make it. It got to a time when it was overdue, when people thought I could have made it before then. And the opportunity came around that time, and God gave it to me. I embraced it in good faith.
What boxing, which bout did you think?
You mean bout?
Yeah, gave you the opportunity to seek a world title.
No bout didn't give me the opportunity to fight for the world championship. I was already in the world rankings for some time. I dropped, I went back again. I had a fight in Vegas against Fidencio Rios. And then after that fight, I had to come home for holidays. And my manager said, no, I need to fight against the #1 contender who is holding the WBO world title, so that if I beat him, then I stand in a chance for fighting for the world championship. And I told him, no, I haven't been with my family for quite some time now, and I have to come home. So it was but yeah, so I told him, if I'm going to be a champion, I'll be a champion, not this bout, so I have to come home. So I came home. Less than 2 weeks, I got a call that the champion was going to fight someone, and the person pulled out. So they need me to cover up for the pulled out boxer. So I said, okay, I'm ready. This is my opportunity. I have to grab it. So I went in there, I looked at my opponent, and I told him his belt belongs to me.
Did he underrate you because you were coming into...
Being an African whose name hasn't been there a lot of time, they always underrate us. So, but I was super confident because I knew it was mine. So I took it.
Did you knock him out? Which round?
I think 7th round.
Just give it to him.
Yeah, we went in and that was the day made for me. So definitely I'll take it. Yeah.
Which bout will you say was your favorite fight?
Favorite?
Yes, amongst all the...
boxing,
fights.
you can...
You fought like 40?
42 or 42, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Boxing, you can't have a favorite fight. Because every fight, you know, when you're coming from the, like when they are building you up from Ghana, you know, sometimes you come across some fight that you enjoy it. But when you get to some level, every fight is like a World Cup, you know, because every fight is tough. Because all the opponents are on the same level, so every fight is tough. I won't, even if I'll say I enjoyed some fight in the ring, I'll say my favorite will be against Johnny Perez, part 2. We fought twice. I lost the first and I beat him on the second one. And I think that will be my favorite fight, if I want to say.
Wow, wow. And who was your toughest opponent? You've always mentioned one South African guy.
Yeah, there's this guy called Johannes Meiser. I consider him as my toughest opponent.
Why?
Because I really suffered in the ring that day. Not only from him punching me, but you know, Ghana is a low, South Africa is a higher altitude country. So coming all the way from Ghana to South Africa, you need to stay there for a little longer to acclimatize to their weather, their altitude, and so on. So I didn't get the chance for that. We went in 3 days before the fight, and after the 4th round, I was finished with my fitness, my strength, and my everything. So I have to, fight through from 4th round to 12th round to win, and it was a tough one for me.
So it means a lot of fights you guys go out there to fight in abroad. It's not easy because of the temperature.
Yeah. It plays a lot of role.
So if like we had the money, you would have preferred that promoters brought the bout to Ghana?
If you bring a fight to Ghana, definitely that means you're going to run a big loss because Ghanaians doesn't pay. Our government doesn't support.
It's not always government.
Our government doesn't support. Corporate Ghana doesn't support. And fans doesn't buy tickets. So how are you going to make the money? Everything is 0-0 in Ghana.
Now things are changing. Now we have online streaming and stuff. People can stream and
maybe that will work, but it won't work properly
for
Ghana.
People bet on bouts. You can go to the betting companies, grab a deal with them, and let's say anyone who bets on this fight.
We are yet to see boxing growing on that level. Once we have, we are yet to see boxing grow to that level. It's working well in the US. We will work on it in Ghana.
So on a difficult day in a ring, how do you overcome maybe your weakness? What's your secret weapon in boxing? Because sometimes you see boxers fight and you lose your shoulder, but you can't keep the bout.
As a Ghanaian, right? As a Ghanaian, being in the ring, going through a tough time, the only thing that motivates you, the only thing that pushes you for you to be able to, for that skill to come out of you, is to take your mind back home and think about the people that will insult you after losing. After you lose, that is when everybody is going to be a coach. That is where everybody is going to insult you. Whenever you win, everybody praises. But after you lose, you can't take the insult. So whenever your mind goes back to Ghana and you're in the ring and you know this is tough, only that because you want to avoid the insult, it pushes you, it motivates you, it tells you that, come on, you don't want to be insulted, you don't want to let these people down. let's go all out. And that has, inspired a lot of us.
I see. So it means whenever you lost a bout, were you able to sleep? How was the night for you, like, whenever you...
You know, coming from Ghana, Ghana is always a tough side. I don't know, when it comes to sports, right? We don't think about a lot of things when we are going to compete as a Ghanaian. The only thing a Ghanaian athlete thinks about, it's his home, his people. So whenever you lose, hey, you can't sleep. You know, sometimes when you go to these social media platforms, you can see some of them coming from there already. You know, but you yourself, you start thinking, what will be my excuse? How to qualify? Because Ghanaians will bash you. You know, some way is good, some way is bad. It helps us to, push ourselves to the limit, but sometimes too, it kills some spirit as well.
All right, you are still watching Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. You are taking a short breather. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
All right, you're welcome back from the break. I'm still here with the two-time bantamweight champion, straight from Ghana, Agbekud.
Yeah.
We share the same name. I'm Joseph as well.
Yeah. Joseph's special.
Yeah. So let's talk about your fight against Abner Mares. Do you think you were cheated in that game? You fought 2 times.
Going into Mares, yeah. Yes, of course, the first fight I was cheated hugely. And then I think the rematch did me a lot of harm.
I remember that bout. I was a kid. I won't tell you the level of my education when I was watching that fight, but I was very young, and that was the first time I had something like below the belt, because Mares was punching you below the belt and the points weren't deducted. So at that time, what was going through your mind when the results came out that he had won the bout?
I would say we as African, we have to do our best to be able to, to value ourselves and to be able to support our own, you know. If Africans start supporting each other, I think we will grow in every aspect. I was cheated in that fight due to the low value of an African athlete in the US. The reason why I put it that way is that Africans doesn't bring anything to the table. You know, Africans doesn't buy tickets. Very few Africans pay for pay-per-view to watch boxing. You know, Africans doesn't support themselves. So when you put it on a business side, they don't value Africans that much, because if they match you up as an African against a Mexican, Mexicans watch boxing more than anybody in this world. And the Mexican is their money. If he keep on winning, they keep on making more money. If the African win, he's just going to take his belt to for a village in Africa and bring it back. But they think if a Mexican win, it is money for them. So because of that, They treat we the Africans anyhow they want to treat us.
Which promotions were you under? Was it Dunkin?
I was under Dunkin promotion, so it was Dunkin and Goody Boy promotion.
At some point, some people thought, okay, they just wanted to give the title to Mahrez just because they wanted him to shoot to fame.
Yes, because he's a Spanish. It's American Spanish. It's a Mexican. And business-wise, if he wins, they will make more money. When I qualified De La Hoya, I won. I beat De La Hoya. If anyone says De La Hoya won that fight, doesn't know boxing. I did won easily. He won. If you watch the rounds, he won. But he can't get it. He's from Africa. De La Hoya is golden boy. He brings the money. He's the one that they pay to watch him pay-per-view. He's number one. Why would you take it away from him for Ike? So they always do everything possible to protect their money. Either you are a black American, or you are a white, or you are a Spanish, you are their money. They have to protect you. If Africans try to support each other, they will give us, when we are fighting, they will be able to give us equal rights.
Your breakaway from Dunkin happened?
My breakaway from Dunkin, it wasn't easy, you know, it wasn't easy. Dunkin hurt my career a lot, you know, during my time working with him and my time not working with him. We were in court for almost like 3 years. It did a lot of harm to me. It was a struggle to break free from him. I have to go through.
What was the reason for?
Through the awkward way for me to be able to get my freedom.
Why were you breaking away from him?
I was breaking away from him because working with him wasn't being beneficial to me.
Money-wise, or he was?
In every aspect.
So he was trying to set out bout for you just to go and lose so that, or? I
wouldn't say anything like that. Yeah, but it wasn't beneficial to me in every aspect.
Oh, okay. We'll leave that out, but you had a relationship with Floyd Mayweather. Tell us about it. I would say I happen to work closely with Mayweather and his family. I happen to be a family at some point of time, and it has been a great working experience. It has been a great experience around a huge boxing family. Would Africa get someone like Mayweather in future, looking at the current trend of boxers we have in Ghana and Africa? Do you think we'll have someone like Mayweather who made the call?
Africa has more than Mayweather, but African, they have people who are way more than Mayweather. But it depends if they will support that person. You know, if they will support that person. Mayweather had his fan base and they supported him. That took him to where he is. African, when you grow, your fan base leaves you. Your fan base can only shout for you, hail you when you win, insult you when you lose, but they never support in any way. You know? Yeah, they never, even look at Mayweather, TMT. Mayweather made so much out of that clothing line. So that is support.
Yeah. So still staying with boxing, I realized that some boxers take time to defend their bout, their titles and stuff. For instance, when you take Mayweather, he sometimes fights 2 to 3 times a year. Did you have such a thing when you were a boxer that sometimes, like, you had to take a break just to?
I do take maybe 1 fight in 15 months sometimes. Not by choice, you know, but maybe because the promoter wasn't making fights available for me. You know, in the early stages as a professional boxer, you can even do 6 fights a year or even 7 fights a year, because that's your baby level where you meet some boxers who are not on the same level with you. But when you get to the world ranking and you're fighting people on the same rank, it's like every fight is like a World Cup for you. Every fight is tough. And you can't, you wouldn't want to, I mean, be in a tough fights, like 6 fights a year. They are all tough. They all need special preparation. So at least 2-3 a year should be enough.
The reason I asked you that question was that recently we've had boxers who had world titles. I can mention Isaac Dobe and Richard Comey. They won the title within 2 or 3 months after defending 1 or 2. Then they lost the title just because they were defending their titles within a short time.
I'll
Is
say.
there a way to prolong it, maybe?
I'll say having 4 months in between your defense shouldn't be a quick. It shouldn't be called a quick defense because at least 4 by 3 makes 12 months. So if you making 3 fights a year, that is a normal world-class fight activeness.
Because I realized that you also had to do some skirmishes just to prolong the title with you for some time.
How? I don't get it.
There were times maybe you had a bout, but let's say you encountered some injury and stuff. Was it a strategy just to keep the title by you for some time? Because once the title is with you, everyone wants to take it away from you.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I was up at Mares in California, and I had a sciatic nerve. I was taken all the way. I was taken from the gym. I was picked from the gym. I had to go to training, so I was picked from the gym straight to the airport, and then I was at the airport for a long wait before taking a 6 hours flight from New York to California. So out of the plane, walking downstairs, and then my nerve pulled me, so I fell. So later, the doctor confirmed it was sciatic nerve. So I had to go through that. I couldn't do anything, and I was going through a lot of pain. And the only way for me to be a little relief was to give me some painkiller, which is not advisable for an athlete. So because of that, I wouldn't be as allowed by the commission to participate in that fight because of that medication and because of my health. So I think our health matters. It matters more than the sport. So when it comes to health issues, the sport has to be.
How many times do you recommend that a boxer sees his doctor within a short space? How many times do you think a boxer should see his?
Seeing a doctor, boxers are physically strong. They are always in the gym. They are okay. But you have a personal doctor, so at least once you feel something, you have to talk to him.
Okay. Is boxing a lucrative sport?
Is boxing a lucrative sport?
In Ghana or Africa?
In Ghana or Africa? From growing up to this level, what I know is that boxers, whenever there was a top boxer like a pound for pound king, like the pound for pound king, always they happen to be the richest among all sportsmen in the world. They happen to be the richest. But I think even as an ice water seller, if you want to be the richest than any sports person, if you do your package and your branding and everything properly, definitely you will be able to make money than the one working extra hard.
Have you made money from boxing?
Have I made money from boxing? I'm rich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which bout made you the most money? Like which bout?
I don't talk money. I don't talk money. I talk career. I talk achievement. I feel money is a plus. I feel money is a plus. I didn't get into boxing because of money. I got into boxing because I had the passion for it. I love it. I enjoy it when I'm inside there. And when money comes, that is a plus for it. When I say I'm rich because I feel fulfilled inside. You know, money or no money, we all do any sports, we all compete into our business or whatever because we want to earn a living. But you have to love what you are doing. And I really love what I've done in the past and what I'm still doing, and that is my riches.
So you don't want to mention which bout made you the most money?
I don't talk money.
Well, in I think 2016, the boxing arena was set up, but for quite a number of times. Last year, I can remember the number of times there was bout at the arena. The previous year, that was 2019, I think 3 bouts. This year, you've only had 1 bout. That's Michael and Sam. What do you think? What's wrong with promoters putting up bouts? Is the Bukom Arena expensive for promoters to set out? Because you also have your own promotion.
Business-wise, I don't think the arena is supposed to be at Bukom. Right. Business-wise, I think Bukom is a home of boxing. They love boxing. When you go to Bukom, the whole surrounding, Bese and so on, the whole surrounding, they love boxing. You know, when I was a kid, we used to walk all the way to Accra Sports Complex to watch boxing and still walk back home because we love it, you know. But we can't do anything for the sport. We can only fight. We can't put money in because we don't have it. Do you understand me? I think if the arena should have been at a place where most people from the rich area will be able, because they love boxing. They watch Floyd Mayweather, they watch Muhammad Ali and so on. If it was to be at a certain site where it would be much easier for them to come, it will also do boxing a lot of good. Wherever the arena will be, people from Bukom, when a fight is happening, even if it's in Kumasi, they will go because they love it. But for those people who can invest money into the sport, they live far. And some of them, when they hear the name Bukom, because Bukom is a place where we love boxing, we love fighting, we are the survivor of the fittest. Do you get me? So some of them, they are scared to come close. So, yeah. The boxing arena, I would say, yes, it's expensive. We've tried to promote fight over there a few times, and it's quite expensive. People are not making money from boxing in Ghana. Managers and promoters, they are not making money out of boxing in Ghana until their fighter get the chance to fight outside. If fighting outside, not one fight, it has to be a consistent fight outside before they can cover up their losses, you know. So they are not making any money, but they have to come out there, pay huge amounts of money to get the place, pay huge of money to do a lot of stuff. So promoting in Ghana is very expensive, and at the end of the day, you only run home with a lot of losses, a lot of debts on your head for you to pay after boxing, you know. So the government has to be able to, look for a way to make promotion much easier for the promoters. It's a sport that takes a lot of people out of the streets, you know, so they should consider making promotion a lot cheaper.
One of the few people, or the few presidents who has, who has contributed to boxing immensely in this country has been the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. What do you think about him? We lost him last year. It was a painful one.
Yeah. It wasn't.
What influence did he have in your life?
We all know as a country that Rawlings loved boxing more than any president that Ghana has ever had. You know, I learned he was a boxer even at this place. He used to fight. Wow. He used to train over here.
Because I knew this place as a military base.
Yeah, because he was an Air Force He used to train over here. That was what I heard, you know, at this particular place. So he's a big fan of boxing. There was a picture of him and Azuma Nelson. That picture inspires me a lot, and it will inspire a lot of generation. You know, the president and the champion walking on the street with a title Azuma won from America.
There was a time, not to cut you, there was a time Muhammad Ali came to Ghana because of him, and he also has his gloves in his place as well.
Yeah, so as President Rawlings was during his time to some certain time, I think amateur boxing was getting massive support. Amateur boxing was getting massive support, you know. So it was a big loss to all of us as a country. But death is an old thing, you know. We can't take it out. When it comes, it comes. So I would say may his soul rest in peace.
So what do you think about our chances of winning the Olympic medal? Because we have two boxers, that's Samuel Techi and Sako Sameh, who is the brother.
And then this boy, Suleiman. Okay. They are three now.
Even the GBF president says there could be 5 boxers representing Ghana because the deadline is not over yet, so we can still qualify.
Yeah, qualifying for Olympics is not an easy thing. We having 3 qualifications are, very good, and we hope for more. You know, I wish the fighters who are going to compete at the Olympics, I wish them very, very well, you know. But I won't be surprised if they all go out there and come home with nothing. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised because, first of all, when it comes to history, you know, the record history in our history with Olympics Games, boxing has won the highest medal for us in the name of Aikwote Senior. That is silver medal. That is the highest medal we've won at the Olympics, and it was won by boxing. When you go to professional, boxing has won almost 10 world titles, and that is what boxing has achieved for Ghana. So boxing has done so much for Ghana that football cannot even catch half of it. You know, so, but when it comes to Olympics, these boys has been struggling on their own. These boys has been taking cars with their own money, going to the stadium every day to work, to train. Everything. During my time as an amateur boxer, the government always take us to the sports college at Winneba for camping. We go for camping. We stay in camping for long. And even, we get every benefit that a boxer can get as being in the national team. Like when you're in the blaster, there are some opportunities you get that others who are not in the team will get. We get all those benefits. Either if we are in the team, either you get a chance to travel with the team or not to travel with the team. We all get equal opportunities. They take us to camp. We go for training tours. We participate in a lot of competitions that will prepare us for the game ahead. Now those things are not happening for the boys. They have to struggle to be able to win these medals or to be able to get these numbers of qualifications. What have the country, the government, the sports industry, the sports ministry, what have they done for them to be in a better preparation towards the Olympics? Nothing. I don't think they've done enough for them to prepare for Olympics. A few years back, I was in the US preparing for my fight. I was staying in Vegas. And boxers from like Europe, Olympics teams from other parts of Europe were touring the US for training, preparing for the Olympics. And when they went to the Olympics, most of them won medals. And most of them are doing great in professional boxing right now because they came out of amateur with good Olympics records, with medals and stuff. And we are not doing any of those things. So we shouldn't expect our fighters to go out there and win medals for us. We shouldn't put that pressure on them because we haven't invested that in them. It will be a luck or it will be their blood, sweat for them to be able to win medals for us. And I wish all of them well. They should make us proud.
As you're about to end this conversation. Are you still active as a boxer?
Am I still active as a boxer? Currently, I'm ranked number 1 by the World Boxing Organization. So I stand in the chance to fight for the World Championship next, if possible. I am still in the league against the elite fighters, but I think now my interest is growing more in, building the future champions than focusing on myself as a boxer.
So you are saying you are more into becoming a coach, a boxing coach?
I am still in the league. I definitely have to fight for the World Championship this year or never. You know, I definitely have to fight for the World Championship this year or never. And if that chance comes, then I will know it's for me again. You know, I will know it's for me again. But aside that, I'm working on a project, a boxing project, which will be coming out soon, which I'll be adoring to the world soon.
Tell me, do you have a son who's into boxing as well, or?
I have girls. I have 2 girls.
Oh,
and
lucky.
They are boxers in their hearts. They are not boxers.
maybe they might be doing something related to boxing in terms of promotion, or.
No, they are on their own. They are on their own. They are my children, and anything that develops in them, anything that drives them, and they feel they have passion for this, and this is what they want to do. It could be boxing. It could be anything at all. I would 100% support, give them my support and prayers for it to grow.
What 5 secrets will you give, or advice will you give to upcoming boxers?
What I can say is, the first advice I'll give to any young up-and-coming fighter is to always stay ready.
1, stay ready.
Once you are always ready, you are never going to get ready.
Come again. Once you are ready.
Once you are always ready, you will never get ready.
Okay.
You are never going to get ready. As in people like Azuma Nelson, people like the late Alfred Kote, like Bazooka Kote, and every fighter who has been able to achieve that glory called world title. You know, as higher as you will be in the sport, the ones that has made it before you came, they should, learn to pay some love and respect to them, so God can tap on those blessings and give them more of whatever they are winning.
What do you want to be remembered for?
How do I want to be remembered for? I want 50 years, 100 years or more, when this boxing career is done, all this life, everything is done, I want to be remembered as one person that a lot of young fighters will say that because of Joseph Agbeko, I was able to achieve my dream to the full. I was able to achieve the full potential of my dream as a boxer. That is what I want to be remembered for.
Thank you for your time. This has been another edition of Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafiu, and our guest for today has been...
My name is Joseph Agbeko.
Catch you another time. Thanks for watching.
For persons living with disabilities, especially in our parts of the world, one of their biggest concerns is acceptance. And even for those who are able to break through, society doesn't quite have enough space to welcome them. Today on The Untold, we speak to Mr. Alex Tete, who from the streets of Tulaku in Ashaman has risen to a level where today he's traveled all the continents of the world. From this very shack right here in Tulaku, today he lives a comfortable life and now encourages people and persons living with disability to strive more for their lives. Come along with us as we hear the intriguing story of this man who has broken through the lines of society that hamper the livelihoods of persons living with disability. It's The Untold here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Eche Atisu. Come along.
Cheer up. It's God. It has not been easy. We give thanks to God.
He weeps. His tears, however, are not for the dead, but for a man who lives. Neither does he cry out of pain, but joy. He looks at the boy whom he once watched taking careful steps barefooted to and from school daily, and wonders what would have become of that little boy if he had succeeded in convincing his parents to take him out of school.
When he completed his elementary here, he was not certified. He edged on. He went to Africa Advance. He was not holding a support. You see him outside the gate, you will see him passing. When he sees me, sir, all the time, I feel for him, suffering. But he is not perturbed. One day, he was coming with his books. I don't know what happened. He fell. Quickly, he woke up. He struggled to wake up. He parted off his the dress and so I'm going to come. I had some feeling in me. The second time, I was at the gate. He was passing. So I said, I'm going to come over. Then I beckoned him, come. He came. Said, good morning. I said, good morning. How are you? Alex, why are you suffering? Why are you worrying yourself? All the time struggling, school education. Your friends learn trade and they are stationed. They work on to make a living. Why do you struggle? Then he laughed at the side of his mouth. He said, I didn't understand. So I will say, I'm going to school and come. He forced, and today, I've seen why he did so.
But that boy holds no grudges because he believes Ifo Ime's attempts to end his education was out of sympathy and not hatred.
Told my mother that, why do you worry your son to walk in the rain and in the sun, go to school? Get a kiosk for him, get some shoemaking, and let him sit at one place and mend shoes for people. That will be more fulfilling than the way you let him stress. Because sometimes every day I sit by my house, when I see him pass by, I cry within me how he suffers, go to school and come back home. Then my mother said, no, it's only education. This thing will not take him anywhere. He can marry out of this. You see, he has to go to school. So I was not worried at all. Each time I pass by the man, I greet him. I make sure he sees me going. Even though I go through that pain, the goal ahead of me didn't allow me to be discouraged at all. I was so determined to be able to make it.
Alexander Tete's determination to complete his education was born out of his mother's words to him the first time he told her he wants to quit schooling.
My mother told me that the state in which I am is only education that can make me strive, because always my mother says that I want to put you in a position where when I'm no more, you can fend for yourself, and it is only through education. So reluctantly, I go to school.
This wooden structure in Tulaku, a slum in Ashaiman, is a place he called home until he got married and moved elsewhere with his wife to start their own family. Though he lives a comfortable life now, he returns to this neighborhood today as he recounts his life's journey.
He's still standing here. Yeah. And you know, it goes through, sometimes it wear off, they replace it. Yeah, they replace it with other wooden. Yeah, but this is the room where we lived.
And you lived here with your parents?
Oh, with my parents, so my siblings were here. We were five siblings, and we even had other family brothers and sisters who were living with us. My mother's sisters' children, and yeah, all within this. But what happens is that because you know we are within the vicinity, sometimes we don't sleep our room. Sometimes we sleep with friends, but this is where our things were, and this is where we call home. We came in agreement with my wife that we need to relocate from Ashama, because Ashama is too hot in terms of character building. If you don't have the resilience and the capacity, your children will go wayward.
At a tender age of 6, Alex Tete contracted polio and became crippled as a result. Believing it was spiritual, his mother moved him from one church, prayer camp, or shrine to another, hoping her son will be healed, but his condition remained the same.
I remember Rehad Bonki came to Tema, to the RCA Park, and my mother carried me at the back, and there was a healing process, and the crowd was so huge. My mother was carrying me, wants to get close to the man of God, the prophet, and it wasn't easy. We got close to, prayed for, but we came back home. I wasn't healed. The intention was that I would be able to walk. There were a lot of people who came there who had crutches, who had wheelchairs, were able to stand. Some have to leave their crutches, but my mother carried me at the back. She tried to put me on the ground so I can stand, but I couldn't stand. So we came home, so disappointed that I couldn't walk. So this process go on every now and then. Every time there's a crusade, my mother wants to carry me there until a friend told my mother to send me to hospital so they can work on my legs. So I went there and they gave me some calipers to hold my leg, and they gave me a wheelchair, and they gave me crutches, and I started to walk. I mean, from the time I got my polio, where it paralyzed me, up to the time I went to the hospital was about 3 years. So when I went to the hospital, I was around 9 years. So that time, I was ready to go to school. So I started school when I was 9 years, class 1. So class 1, because most of the time I was at home, my siblings, my senior brother and the sister come home, and some of the things they are taught at school, they teach me. So I became very sharp, and some of the things that I should learn in the infancy, I learned them at home. So when I went to the class 1, in no time I was jumped from class 1 to class 3. So I didn't attend class 2 at all.
His mother had to shoulder the burden of footing his medical bills, as his father wasn't making much from his small carpentry business.
My mother lost her money, at a point she has to sell her clothing to take care of me, to take care of my medical bills. There was no support. My father was around, but my father is also a mini carpenter. She goes around, repair tables and chairs for people, and out of that we make it. So we were hugely depending on my mother's business. So it wasn't easy. I couldn't even go to the hospital again for review. So my calipers and crutches all got broken.
Without crutches to support him anymore, Alex had to resort to crawling wherever he went, including school.
I remember at school, and nobody would like to sit by me because when I crawl on the floor, and you can imagine I crawl in the sun, and I became so dirty, very sweaty, and nobody would sit by me because at the school there's this mono desk where 2 people sit, and I was alone on my desk, and nobody would sit by me because of the sweat and the dirt. And I remember I was so sad. I was so sad, and when I came home, I told my mother I won't go to school again because nobody want to get close to me, and nobody want to play with me. And very young, you love to play. My mother encouraged me to go.
Maybe I'm a senior, an engineer, no work class.
I was a senior in school, but my brother was his classmate. He either crawled to school or his siblings carried him, and that went on till he started using crutches. Then finally, he started walking like this.
Crutches.
I can see improvement in his life, so I'll encourage the disabled in society not to look down on themselves.
Somebody there say, and that's what be our.
He didn't take it lightly being teased, and that made a lot of people avoid him.
Initially, you did not call me a different name apart from my name. I will gather some stones and make sure I hit you. I will chase you up. I will hold your legs, clamp your legs together, and you fall. And when you fall, when I crawl on top of you, you receive some blows. And then the next time you will not do that. So in my area, I was like a terror. So can you imagine? You, the same person, don't have friends now. Even the few people who are want to play with you, you beat them up. And I was so I was so strong. My upper body was very strong because I crawl. Very strong. So when I hold you, it's difficult for you to release yourself. So this is how it went. And when I accepted my disability, I became a champion. I became so popular. I had a lot of friends. People call me Kakdi, people call me Pozo Hayes, and all that. I don't mind.
He went to school with my daughter, and I knew he walked with the aid of crutches. He was very aggressive at the time and even fought with my son by a gutter. I asked my son why he fought him when he knew about his condition. The young people were always teasing him, and in retaliation, he threw stones at them. He's not a bad person. We never expected that he would get to this point in life, and even expect that someone could fall in love with him.
Life became easier for Alex when he finally accepted his condition.
When I accepted my situation and I became happy with it, and I said, whatever the situation is, I would want to become somebody even with my disability. There I began picking up, and I started becoming first in my class. And so there and then I began gaining friends because I started teaching them mathematics. I was very good at maths. I started teaching them some of the subjects and things. So I became very popular, had a lot of friends. People call me names, and I give them more. I receive the morale and all that.
As time went by, his father made some wooden crutches for him, and he moved around with that. Soon, he was able to move around without the use of the crutches, even though he needed to be careful with his steps.
I managed and I learned how to walk, and the walkings I do is tactics. Tactics. So once I walk, I look on the floor because the floor is not even. So I look at where it slopes, where then I calculate my steps. Places where I'm not able to calculate my step, where I fall. So that is about my life. A few times I sit in the wheelchair when I'm so tired, and also I'm not able to go to long distance. But with the wheelchair, I'm able to do that. I'm also a wheelchair basketball player. Yeah, I do sports. Yeah, I play basketball. So I use the wheelchair. And when I went to further studies in the UK, and you know, the accessibility everywhere is accessible. So I really used the wheelchair when I was there. And if you see me in the UK, in Hammersmith, central London, in the wheelchair, you wouldn't identify me because the speed at which I go, at the point the police stop me and say, please, the speed is too much. They be observing me. The speed is, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because if I look at where I started, somebody who was crawling on the floor, had no hope because her parents don't have it. And where I am, where I can sit with ministers to discuss issues of disability. A few times I've participated in the UN conference, giving presentation. Addis Ababa, I was there. In New York, I was there. Washington, I was there. To participate in UN conferences to discuss policies, global policies. Yeah. So I just praise God and thank God for where He has brought me.
Mr. Tete walked barefooted all his life due to his condition, until a friend encouraged him to try wearing shoes. This was when he was about 20 years old and in secondary school.
I went through the education barefooted until I got to secondary school. And the secondary school, you know, because there's no money, the schooling was like private. I went to Snaps College. And at Snaps College, I did accounting there. And can you imagine, I slept in the school. That was where I began wearing shoes. I met a friend called Okran. And then he said, Alex, you can wear a shoe. Alex, let's go to Kantamanto. Let's give it a try. I said, I don't believe I can wear a shoe. So we went together. And this friend, we got some shoes. Let me try. And I tried a few ones which fit my leg. And then the friend told me, he called Samuel Okan. He said, today you wear the shoe from here to school. So can you imagine walking from Kantamanto to Asalam Down, Snaps College? Formerly that was where it was. And I walked. And when I got to school, all of my legs got bruises. You know, when your legs look fresh. So when you put on that thing, I things. And for 3 days, I couldn't move. I have to remove the shoe and get the wound healed. But when the wound got healed, I put it on again because I said this thing must stop. I have to be able to wear a shoe like anybody else. So after 3 days, when the wound got healed a bit, not totally, but when the pains came down, because when I got the bruises, it became like a small balls around my feet. So when I got healed, all got best and got healed, I wore it again and started practicing, started walking gradually, and then all my feet, that area got hardened, and then I was able to walk to today. It's so amazing how I'm able to walk, wear a shoe, and now I can move to the shoe shop and get a shoe to wear.
Powers and principalities. There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
The owner of the property where Snaps College was first located recounts some memories of Mr. Tete's days at the school.
I took him as my child when he was schooling here and didn't discriminate against him. He used to sleep here with some other students and I had a cordial relationship with all of them. Anytime I cooked for them, people asked if they gave me money for that. And I told them they didn't. They all slept here on mats at night and took their baths to get ready for class when day breaks. He was a good child, very humble, and I didn't see him as disabled. I'm happy anytime I see him. He visits me once in a while when he comes to help students.
He went on to get his HND in accounting at Accra Polytechnic after completing Snaps College, but almost gave up on his education again one rainy day.
All this time I've been moving from Ashama to Accra for lectures. Moved from Ashama to Accra for lectures. And there was this time, in the morning, the clouds look like it's coming to rain. So I got an umbrella. And when I landed at Tema Station, walking, there's a route from Tema Station to Accra Poly. I was walking in that lane where now AMA has built their offices. There's a lane there, people sell. There's a market there too. And so the rain started with strong wind. And I decided to open the umbrella because my books, I have a bag at my back and walking. I walk the way I walk, swing myself. And then before I realized, the wind entered the umbrella and pushed me. And in fact, with my books at my back, I was holding onto the umbrella and the wind was also blowing the umbrella to get off my hand. And I said, no way, I won't leave this umbrella. We were all on the ground in the rain. In fact, it was one of my saddest moments. Because you see, at that period, nobody was ready to give you assistance. So when the wind subsided, I woke up, put off the umbrella, and I said, the rain should beat me. It's okay for the rain to beat me because I'm already wet and dirtied myself. So when I got to school, I decided to get one of the empty classrooms and sat there. Because I didn't want to go to my colleagues because of how I've messed myself up. And there I cried. In fact, when I got back home, I told my mother and my father that I think that it's okay. It's okay to I told them, why am I going through all these challenges? Is there, where is this leading me? Because at every point in time, I go through hell, I go through problems, sometimes trying to do something for myself. I face a lot of challenges, very bitter. And today I couldn't even go to lectures, even though I went right to the school, I couldn't go to lectures because of all this, all that has happened to me. So I don't think that I want to continue the school. My parents cried. My parents cried. After crying together with me, they told me that, yes, it is true that I am going through these problems, but that is the only way I can survive.
Mr. Tete moved to Pando in the Volta region for his national service because he wanted to learn to be fully independent.
I told my parents this time I want to be out of home so that I can experience life. So, and you know, for a person with disability, you are posted anywhere you want to be because they assume that you need some support services. So, but I was asked where I want to be. I said I want to go to Pando. No, I want to go to the Volta region. I said let me go to the Volta region. So they posted me to the Volta region hall, and because I did accounting, I was posted to Pando Audit Service, and that was where life actually began. Yeah, so I learned how to live on my own.
Shortly after his service, he married the love of his life, and they are blessed with 4 children. But convincing her family to allow them get married wasn't an easy task.
So my national service savings, I was able to gather it, and that is what I used to marry my wife. But during the time I was schooling, I met her at church. I attended the Church of Christ at Ashaman, Accra Road there, and that is where. And I'm a very strong Christian, and because and in all this I'm saying that Christianity has actually made me who I am. Christianity, because each time I go through challenges, I go through the stress and the problems, I look up to God, and I said, God, I know you are there for me, and I know you will never leave me until I achieve my goal. So I met her, and she, when I proposed to her, she was confused. She was confused because we were very good friends, and she asked me, how about Kojo? I'm a Monday born, they call me Kojo. In a house, I'm called Kojo. He said, oh, Kojo, is he a joke? But we are brothers. I said, oh, what? We are brothers. Are you the second born of my mother? I'm serious. So it was so many years, but I mean, I kept on because I attempted a relationship before, but the family, I got to know early that the family wouldn't accept. Because what happened is that lady, sister, also married a disabled person. So the mother says, Abba, is it a taboo? That is it a case? That all my 2 girls should marry disabled people? Why? As for this one, they don't agree. So I said, no problem. No problem. I married my wife, even though there was a few resistance. And my wife's mother's family, because the mother passed on, so the mother's family were not agreeing to it. But the father said, this young man, I see in him a very good husband, a very good in-law. So for me, he can marry my daughter. I had a lot of support from him, and I married my wife. That was in 1999, 5th December 1999. I married my wife, and we are blessed with 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. The first 2 are in the university. The first one, Major in Tete, is at Tech. He's doing geography, and he's in the 2nd year. And the second one, Rose Tete, He's at Telecom University. He's doing computer engineering. And then the third one is a boy. He's at the GHS 3. And then the last one, class 1. That's the pension baby Elom Tete. So life is about how you make it, how determined you are. And if you are determined and with God's support, you can actually make it.
After his national service, he got his first job as an accountant at Sutrec Meets Ghana Limited. From there, he moved to the Ghana Society for Persons with Disabilities as National Director. Today, he runs his own organization, Center for Employment for Persons with Disabilities, and has 3 permanent employees. His aim? To reduce the number of persons with disabilities begging on the streets.
So I'm an employee of the local government service where I am posted to the Tema West Assembly. My organization, I volunteer for the organization. So I have staff that I've employed three staff who are every day in the office and they work. And because I also work, I don't go there. I receive reports of their work, and also we have meetings to discuss activities of the organization. Basically, the organization is a non-governmental organization. It's not a profit-making organization. And what we do is to empower persons with disabilities in Ghana through vocational skills, employment, and livelihood support. And so we collaborate with other agencies and other government institutions. My work at the Assembly is also enhanced by the work that I do in the disability organization. I'm able also to mobilize disabled people within the Tema municipality and the metropolis, and we're able to embark on a lot of activities that improve on their lives.
He has traveled to at least one country in all 5 continents of the world, a reality he never dreamed of as a child.
I've traveled to the participated in conferences and programs because of my advocacy for persons with disabilities.
From this shack?
Yeah, from this shack. Yeah.
So all the continents of the world?
All the continents. I don't know. I've been to Asia, I've been to America, I've been to Denmark, South America. I've been to Nicaragua. You know, that was in 2005. It was the longest journey, 13-hour journey crossing the Atlantic Ocean. It was so tiring. Yeah. And so that has been great, and I was awarded, including other people. I remember Roland Walker was one of the guys who was awarded on that day. Yeah. So, and so people in Ashaiman, the youth of Ashaiman, recognize my work, even though I scarcely visit them now. They recognize that I come from Ashaiman. And just this week, one of the guys in Ashaiman called me that it's about time we do a homecoming, where a few guys who have lived in Ashaiman have to come together and see how we can develop Ashaiman, because Ashaiman is in a mess now. Ashaiman is in a mess now, and other people have come to live in the area and have given the area a bad name. But back in our days, even though Ashaiman has all the bad names, we were like a community. You know, even though there are a few bad guys, we were like a community, and we were striving. But now it's not like that.
The man who once lost use of both legs now has driving as a hobby.
The fact that I'm able to drive myself was a great thing for me, because I'm able to move and I'm able to control my life. I began by by somebody driving me, and it's been really difficult when every time you have to call the person and to come and drive you. Initially, I wasn't paying the person, and so it was like a kind of a pro bono service. And sometimes you can't get a person to drive you, and then you are stuck. So when I'm able to drive, I began, and I could see that I'm able to drive. I was so excited. So driving is a fun. I drive to Kumasi. I drive long distance to Ho. I drove to Donkokrom, from Plains and all that. I drive to Cape Coast myself. Yeah, so driving is actually a fun.
Whilst encouraging persons with disabilities not to look down on themselves, Alexander Tete expressed profound gratitude to his family for all their support during his trying moments.
Sometimes we look at the challenges and then we forget, we don't open our eyes to the opportunities that are open to us. I've met a lot of people in my life who have supported me here and there, and I've met a lot of discouragement in my life too. But because I am me and I want to get to a goal, I don't allow the discouragements. I use the discouragement as a stepping stone to move ahead, because I know that when I move to the next level, this discouragement that you are talking about or you are facing me with will be the thing of the past. I had a lot of family support. My brother, my sister, who was our firstborn, almost always carries me to school. Sometimes carries me to school because I crawl. And when I crawl to school, I'm dirty. She would decide to carry me to school before she also go to school. And I owe her a lot of gratitude. She has really supported me. And our second born, I'm the third born. Our second born is also a male guy. And that guy, very strong. He can fight. So you dare not cheat me or do anything against me. If he comes around, he will make sure he beats you mercilessly. So nobody messes up with me. All these are all the supports that I had from them. And my father, so fantastic. I'm the only person who speaks Ewe. My father is an Ewe. I'm the only person who speaks Ewe with my father. My father was so supportive, so supportive. One thing he never encouraged me to do was to pursue his job, carpentry. Each time he tells me, "No, this job is not good for you. This job is for people who have legs, not for you." I said, "Daddy, I'll make it." There's a lot of persons with disabilities who decide to end up their life. I want to encourage them that if you end your life, what do you gain? You have to make it. You can make it, whatever situation you find yourself. Other colleagues who beg on the street, it's not dignifying. You can do something with your hand. Even if you are not educated, you can really do something.
That's the story of Mr. Alex Tete, and we are grateful that you've joined us. We hope that it inspires you, as we always do here on The Untold. We hope that your lives are transformed from joining us on this edition. Until next time, my name is Eche Atisu. Do remember to follow us on GhanaWeb. Go to www.ghanaweb.com for all stories on our website.
we realized that the problem of food waste is everywhere. And so we decided to start Food for All Africa. Life, after all, it's about helping society. I had to be washing pans and loads of pans. There was this pan that had a sauce in it. I took it, threw the sauce away, and then washed the pan. As I was washing it, the chef walked in and just seeing me with the bowl, got so furious. Who asked you to throw away my sauce? One of this young boy, what's happened was like, I thought they be a cop baby or muye and they bet this dance why if no be as an idea.
We are still talking safety on our roads with GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Today our guest is a veteran actress and media personality. She indeed was involved in a ghastly accident some years back, nearly claimed her life, but well, she's here today with us to tell us how it all happened and advise us on the way forward, staying safe on our roads. Our guest today is Nana Mama Brown. I like your smile.
Hello, dear.
2013, January, must have been hard.
Yes.
Tell me, how did it happen?
Wow. Okay, thank you very much. 2013, I had met my husband. It was like 5 months into our relationship. And I had to do a friend, let's say a favor. You know, when you're in this job, hand go, hand come. Okay. So I had to go and do a video for the group prior. At that time, the video has been rescheduled. So that night was a night I just had to finish. You know, it's like I'm getting tired of the job. I just had to finish. And I was going before from the house. It was just a lonely night. I was driving alone, and my husband was like, then my boyfriend, was like, oh, let's go together. So that let me drive you. I see that you're tired. Let me drive you. And then so that we can hurry up and we all come, because it was late.
We were looking at what time?
We left home, I think, around 9 p.m. Okay. Yeah. So we got to the scene, we finished everything, and it was around 2 a.m. and we're coming home. Yeah. So me, I was just in the car, relaxed, at the front seat, and my boyfriend then was driving. That's my husband now.
Yeah.
Was driving. So there was a game I was playing on my phone.
Oh, you weren't even sleepy?
No, I was not sleeping. I was playing a tempo run. Then time nothing about. So yeah, and I had a record on the phone, and he broke it whilst I was doing the video. So he was like, my breakthrough record. You know how it is. Yeah. So on our way, I said, okay, let me break my record. And he was like, if you can break it, I'll give you $100.
Great.
I said, okay, don't talk to me, Masa. Don't distract me. Let's go. So we're just in the car. Once a while, I will respond to him, and then I'll just look at the road once a while, and then we go. And when we got to La Paz, long story short, when we got to La Paz, all I heard was, Amayewu. Yeah, because I was on my phone, and he was just driving. So when he said Amayewu, and I just stopped. By the time, I was just trying to look at what's happening, it was like a movie.
Everything happened so fast.
Yeah, everything happened like 5-6 seconds. Do you understand what I mean? It's like the action.
The sound of the impact and the
you know. I saw him going right, but you see, right at the main La Paz traffic light, there are taxis on your right, packed in front of the Las Palmas.
Yes, that's at it's very busy. And okay.
Yes, and a lot of people are in between the taxis and all that. We were coming from Achimota heading towards Malam Junction. Okay. So all I saw was a car coming from Abeka, the inside Abeka there, into the main road. So one, the traffic was on amber. Around that time, no. I don't know, it's a Ghana traffic light. I catch them say after 12 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know. I think that question should be answered. And it was on amber. So suddenly I saw a car into us.
Okay.
And my car, like, Max drove to the right side, but I realized, and I know that's how you also feel, that there are a lot of cars. If he goes there now, so he had to come back to the left and meet the car.
So he...
Oh, who can? Or no, who can? Or right. Inka, either say, you bet me a room la pass na ko board then be more or whatever. But right now, bet me a rat taxis anymore. And yet, can't one over say no. I believe Zenka will be home back. So he went down and then he came back. And then the Baba Clan who said, Kano. Kana be boy aside.
Not carbon and amuchi, and then
which car? Range Rover.
Okay.
And so funny, can Opel Astra. Is it Astra? No, Opel Tintin Ibino. Omega.
Okay. Part of the
Omega.
That's a strong one. That's a strong one.
Omega is a strong car.
That's a strong one. Yeah.
So, Range Rover is a good car. But, to be honest with you, say a cost speed pa, I am a drive it.
So he wasn't even speeding?
No.
Between the two of you, when I was
speed.
Okay.
No credit I me pay speed. And yes, I pay speed say me kwa say but them no. On se sebe sad no what take up more. Wait yes kakra. But where na to be a night say or do akwenti on get be jolly ride be. Inti to be honest. Na speed in shadanim. Ni yakọ yet range of one na je yakọ. Be 100 I think say no be do. 100 more there no. Inti it was like a normal ride. Suddenly, and then the car came. Inti ebe share sanona. I think say, of course, say no bar say ne. A share na me side hoko ball main traffic light.
Okay.
Main traffic. Me don't ball main traffic light. Me don't. Inti a ball no nana. You say carnage na be there be bobo bi abobo kan the windscreen kakra ties no bebre papa I mean and I felt like the car didn't meet me. So
and this is what happened to you.
So me began to say, "Are you okay?" And I say, "Yes, I'm fine." And he was moving and then
even your condition you were asking him what?
Because the car came from his side and I said, "Yeah, you niate." But okay, I can talk. Let me see if he can also talk. It's I think adrenaline. So I asked him, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "I'm fine. Are you okay?" So I was going to go, yes. And then I realized that
something wrong.
My hand is not coming.
You couldn't feel your arm?
No, I couldn't feel it.
The right one?
This one, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't feel it. Me pushing on in my head, I want to bring my hand, but I feel like me try with the shoulder, but I'm not.
The arm itself is not.
The hand, the fingers, and all that. So I realized that I could share Range Rover no side, between the door and the seat, Means I could show.
It's not a lucky room.
It's not a lucky room. So I had to lean there and try and find it and bring it slowly, like this. Because me page I know who say me born no nyina pie.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Me born no nyina hana pie na hana so abase nti me elbow no me sana chia. So I had to bring it say na me pie born no enye say na enti me bra.
Wasn't it painful?
And at that time anti-pain.
It was still the blood rush?
Yes, anti-pain because I as a drama I just felt like it's not real.
I'm trying to picture the whole thing. Yeah. Seeing your bone and you're not going to arrange everything back into your arm.
Situation, That's how I felt. Like, let me save what I don't know. That's how.
That's what's going on in your head.
And me pushy bone say And And I'm in Sanoba. And then I placed it like this and I got down from his side. Because my side didn't there, I bought traffic light, traffic light not chair. Kakra, it's a damage, so. So I got down from his side.
Does that mean he had gotten out of the car?
He had gotten out. So I told him, nobody should touch me when I realized that my hand is broken before they struggle me out. And so I was like, I can come out. I don't know how it happened, to be honest with you. I was like, I can come out. I can me pra. So I came out from the side like this. I got down. I left my bag, everything, my phones, everything in it. And then I saw blood all over. So then a taxi driver pulled up. He pulled over to my side now. So I felt the pain after a few minutes, like 10 minutes later, we got to Jolu, the railway at Jolu, Perez Chapel there. He was in speed, as in full speed, trying to save me. And that time, doctors got strike.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So it was like the closest is 37. You know, everybody will tell you what's good. So, from Perez Chapel is when I felt
the pain was not coming.
Dying. Hey, it's like mensano that were drumming no biwo non-stop. Sweetheart, when you have malaria, I mean supi now some bua.
That's a whole different.
Oh, there will be pre-malaria, but now it's bone no, and I don't want to. I don't want to go through this again. But every day I go through it. You know why? Because not long ago I fell down again and I broke my arm. So I did a surgery about 3 months ago.
So it's something that has become a reminder. It's with you now.
It's life. It's with me as I speak. So I just did it 3 months ago. I fell down there. You know, at 37, they put metal. They screw, they join the bone, they screw. And the metal broke, the bone broke again. And I had to go and do refix. So they've done it all over again now. It's not strong, but what can you say? It didn't cut off. You didn't die. So it's painful, but you live with it.
From your narrative, I'm trying to find what may have caused the accidents in the first place.
What may have caused it? I don't know. Because we were driving, and somebody too was driving. And then your friend is saying, have you ever planned an accident?
That doesn't, but the traffic
unless it's a movie and then it goes wrong or it goes bad.
It doesn't go according to a script. So,
the traffic light was not working at that time.
So that could have been the reason.
So it's like every day, everybody has a right to go. And the man too, I heard, is a chop bar owner, be inside the Abekan there, say very much something.
The owner of the other car.
Yeah, so I believe he was also tired.
What? Okay, you obviously didn't see what may have happened to him. Yeah, his car. Did you see the condition?
His car was a mess too, got messed up, crashed. So after me, I didn't see him that night. Neither have I ever seen him. No, because me from there, I had to, the hospital admitted me for 2 weeks. And in between, I think family members were talking. They went to the police station, you know, as usual. They had to tow the car to the police station. So they probably have met him there. But as long as I live, you know, you can't hold a lot of things for long. And what happened? We had to let it go. A lot of things.
8 years down the line. It's been 8 years. But
yes, 2013.
Yeah.
8 years was last month. Yeah, January 30th.
Okay. The dawn of January 30th. Would you have done anything differently now that you look at, when you play back everything that may have happened?
You see, you can't understand life. Oh, we all wish to live, but how? You can't control what is going to happen to you next. I don't think I would have changed anything, because I don't know. I say, nothing education free. I say, so it's like a COE. You know, the only thing I could do is just wish that and see. I wish, Senka, I'm not in this situation, but I see. So it's just up to me to know that it has come to live with me. This is me. Nobody can understand the pain, the way it's so uncomfortable, and how it has stopped me from a lot of things. I used to ride a bike. I can't ride it now because the pain me cry. I'm afraid I'll fall again. You know. 2, I used to play lawn tennis. That's my favorite game. So now I have to. I was gonna go back and then I fell again. So I can't go back.
And I see even right now, your left hand is more vibrant than the right one.
Very much. The right one is there. You see, it's my work, so sometimes I would do a lot of things, but I know how I feel.
Okay. As far as accidents are concerned, what do you think Ghanaians and by extension authorities are not doing right to manage the situation?
You see, there are some common things that we all look at it. We don't say anything, or we don't even know if we have to say anything, or we don't even know who to ask, or probably we ignore. Something like this traffic light, that most of our traffic lights are always in the night on amber. Hence, our yellow thing is like everybody can go. Most of our traffic lights. I travel abroad, I don't see that. It works 24/7. And again, we don't have a system that there are a lot of, let's forget about my accident. There are a lot of things that happen on our road that yehu. The name say say toll line no kura no. Obian few and I bet okay we will respond to them and na and they won't. Abe habit to be a yehu. Na I ignore.
So we don't trust the system.
No, what I mean is what system? The systems are there, but once it's just like maintenance. If we don't keep maintaining or reminding ourselves, look, travel on Accra Kumasi Road, and you see the number of cars. I say, see one more, dear, and I try dear landmarks. Car say see her. You see, we don't have a system. Car say see kwansoa, which a free ho. See, our system na beboa. Car dear, what the number one time to me. I say, you don't know where it will leave you, where it's going to stop, where it won't work again. So if we have that system, one, it will help. 2, most of our road signs are not working. Can be a boom ama edianis one so nitina chia. And so you say why a curve, and I'm the curve will be mistake boom untino. You bet no bio. Do you get me? A lot of potholes on our road and all that. Oh, you can't. But the only thing that drivers can do is just to be extra careful. You have to be the next driver's keeper. I have something, I'm not perfect, but it has worked for me. When I'm driving, I look beyond the next driver I'm behind. I look beyond.
Into the second?
The second, or probably the fourth.
Okay.
Because I know says a fourth no boat break here. Ebe didi swaba. Obi ni mondi odine china nkasana or sheno. Me driver my ache. Me sure about 500 meters ahead. Na me who say me so se mpese me call speeder. Me fa afa hesi edru ha. Ote ase ye nyina ye bi. Enye se wo kona na fu se we nkwa na betimi asan no na okwa na kobo a punchy break or now. Do you understand? So I think we have to be the next driver's watchman. It helps. It helps. You can't be too careful.
I mean, you can be careful at your end, but
yes, somebody to her. But I think say careful now. Me 57 accidents no. Me jai sabe. In fact, I'm quite speed call sabe. I can't cause a speed on that speed now. hey, let's go, hey.
So from here to Junction, now.
As I would take up once a while, any idea? Forgive me, but I think we should be careful. Any idea once a while, hey, my spirit, especially with the cap of memoir. Nature's a flexica cranium, baby. Yeah, but I think also careful. Na sure quite so ye. Na the next person's keeper.
Okay. Your final message to drivers and by extension all Ghanaians as far as road safety is concerned and feed into GhanaWeb's road safety campaign.
Okay. Final message there. It's very simple. A sign, it can happen to everybody. What happened to me was not planned. Actually, in Kamekra, I mean planning. Because, Minsana Ebuno, it is for life. I'm going to live with it for the rest of my life. And this is not what I want or I wanted. Intino, I will pray to God, first of all, to protect all of us. Again, I will plead with authorities that there should be more campaign. We are all here to stand as an ambassador, or if we have the support. Do you understand? We can't do it alone. So we need to let the campaign out the more. We need to speak about it. There should be everyday video about it. You should have ambassadors to people who are ready to talk, who are ready to remind ourselves. There should be videos. There should be videos around. Everybody has a mobile phone. And now I will be a sponsor. Now a quick thing, now be good phone. So whether you like it or not, you read it. There should be a way that road safety messages should go around like that. Again, our traffic lights. Me, I've had an experience with it. I don't know if it's we should accept it like that in the night. Most of our traffic lights are on amber. It's like everybody can go. Yeah, I don't know. But please, if it could be changed, if you can go to the regular traffic light system, red, gold, green that we all know. Yeah, if you want someone, you may try more right, but don't wanna be careful. So we should work on that. Again, if we can have a towing system that can help on our road too, it will help. Our roads overtaking rough. Any kasa or phone so na drive na send message ni ade no yenyina every day ye we can't be hypocrite yenyina ye bi inti ya pa yenyina ho cho yenjai na yensre rade no boy ho ban corona ba yentumi emfa a sign we inside me count to 35 people fear death hey sabra for no misro pa inti mpa cho. Careful. Thank you very much for this opportunity, GhanaWeb. Hi, my name is Nanama McBrown. I'm proud to be part of GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Please, do the right thing. Save a life. Brim.
Nanama, thanks a lot for your time here. Wait, so this has been GhanaWeb's Road Safety Campaign with the Empress, veteran actress Nanama McBrown. My name is Lord Harisidwasari. Now, don't forget to send videos of some of the things that you may see as far as maintenance of the roads is concerned. Anything that you see about the road that you are not happy about, send it to our social media platforms. On Facebook is the GhanaWeb. On YouTube is GhanaWeb TV. Same as on Twitter, the GhanaWeb. Do join us for our next one.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment.
Page 8. And some members have been marked absent, when in actual fact they actually sought permission to be at ECOWAS Parliament. And I see Ayamba Ladi, Miss Pusiga, Member of Parliament, Mahama Yariga, Johnson Edu Peku. The Speaker, they sought permission to be at the ECOWAS Parliament, and they were not absent.
Do you have copies of the permission? The table office doesn't appear to have any documents from.
Mr. Speaker, I saw that of when the Honorable Bejra, when he was filling his, actually took care of others. And
when the table office gets their permission documents, they will correct the record. Page 12. Page 30. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 18. Page 19. Honourable members, in the absence of subject to the corrections, the votes and proceedings of the 34th sitting of first meeting of the first session held on Monday, 29th March 2021, are hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. Question time. There's a question standing in the name of Mr. Alistair Tejong, Honourable Member for Sefia Kontomra. This was carried over from yesterday. Honourable Minister, it's your question to answer. Now you may ask your question, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on order 61 to ask the Minister of Health the type of health facility program to be constructed in Sefia Kontomra, when it will be completed and handed over. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Health has a policy of providing each district with a hospital. The Sefia Kontomra facility is part of the construction of public health care facilities in selected districts in the Western Region project, with funding from Oreo and ING Bank, which commenced in December 2019. Mr. Speaker, the facility will achieve a 42-bed capacity district hospital status. The project is scheduled to be completed and handed over by December 2021. Mr. Speaker, I want to re-emphasize that this facility is a district hospital we are putting in Kontomra. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member Falcon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, once again. Can the Minister assure this House that the hospital will be equipped with modern tools? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, that is so. The hospital will be fitted with modern tools and equipment. In fact, the 42-bed one we are putting up as part of the existing health center. It's a turnkey project that is coming with equipment. So the modern tools that my colleague is expecting will be fitted, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I'm satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, thank you for attending upon the House to answer the question. You are discharged. Yes, Honorable Leader.
Speaker, I seek your leave, coming under Order 53, for us to vary the order of business and instead of taking statement as agreed, we go on to presentation of papers, after which we'll come back and take the statement. Speaker, with your leave.
You want us to do presentation of papers?
Exactly, Speaker.
Yes, minority. Very well. The other paper is hereby varied. We'll go to item 6, the commencement of public business. Presentation of papers. Yes, which one?
Speaker, we can begin with 6, and again, I seek your leave to do it on behalf of the Majority Leader.
Yes, item 6A by the Majority Leader. Yes, Leader.
Speaker, I sought your leave to do it for him.
Yes, go ahead.
Budget performance report in respect of the Office of the Auditor General Audit Service for the period January to December 2020.
The paper is duly laid. It's for distribution to members. Yes.
Madam Speaker, in respect of 6B, I will have no objection if the Honorable Minister for Local Government can lay that. But we need to be assured. You recall that even as I was concluding the debate, this was a document I needed to make reference to. We didn't have it. It is part of 3 documents which should have preceded the reading of the budget. So table must assure Mr. Speaker that you have copies before we will accept anybody bowing to it. The annual public debt management report. If you go back to your record, on 12 March, it was supposed to have been laid. I followed through table, I followed through leader. No copy of it was available. So if the Honorable Dambuche can stand in stead of the Minister for Finance to lay it, but I need assurance that it is ready for distribution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The table office has shown me a copy that is in the custody already. So, yes, Honorable Minister for Local Government.
Annual Public Debt Management Report for the 2020 financial year.
The paper is duly presented. It is for distribution to members. Yes.
Speaker, 6C.
6C by the Minister for Local Government.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Brim South District Assembly for the year 2019.
Honourable members, the paper is duly presented. It's referred to the Public Accounts Committee. Now, I need to vary my order in respect of 6B. The annual public debt management report, which was been laid, is rather referred to the Finance Committee to consider and report. Yes, Leader.
Speaker, I conferred with my colleagues and we've come to an agreement that instead of taking the statement, we'll rather take item number 11 on page 4, after which we'll come to statement.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, it is our own budget for Parliament, so we can run through that quite quickly and then come back. But Mr. Speaker, your direction on the annual debt report, I see you are referring it to the Finance Committee. My wish would be that it's distributed for members. It is not just meant for the consumption of members of the Finance Committee. It's a paper which should be distributed for the attention of, just like the annual petroleum funds. That would be my view, but I don't know if that is appropriate within our standing orders. To refer it to the Finance Committee, I'm not sure they will look at it and report back, but I'll be guided by practice, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. I think the appropriate thing is for the Finance Committee to review and advise the House. So we think, yes. Item number 11, motion. Yes.
Speaker, I rise to move that this Honorable House approves. Speaker, I rise to move that this Honorable House approves the sum of 523,639,774 for the services of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service for the year ending 31st December 2021. Speaker, in so doing, I present the committee's report. I invite the Hansard Department to capture the entirety of the report. Speaker, achievements in 2020. Out of these releases, Parliament undertook key activities related to its core mandate, namely legislation, oversight, and representation. Some of the activities implemented in 2020 were as follows: legislative business, parliamentary oversight, representation. Speaker, in conclusion, in view of the need to strengthen Parliament as a key pillar of Ghana's democracy, the committee recommends to the House to adopt its report and approve the sum of 523,639,774 Ghana cedis for the implementation of some of the programs of the Parliament of Ghana for the year 2021 financial year. Speaker, so moved.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to second the motion that this House approve the sum of 523,639,774 for the implementation of some of the programs of the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the legislative authority of the state is vested in us. We also exercise the mandate of representation. We exercise oversight over budget, financial scrutiny, approval of loans, and related matters. Mr. Speaker, it's satisfying that particularly for the 2020 period, this House is noted to have passed very significant legislations, and as I refer you to page 6, paragraph 5.1 of your committee's report, the House approved a total of 1,331 papers on various policy proposals. This included 60 bills, 47 legislative instruments, and Mr. Speaker, reports of the Auditor General, and 151 loan agreements. That is significant for our work in 2020. For the 2021 period, Mr. Speaker, the refreshing news is that work will commence on the construction of constituency offices for members of Parliament. The idea begins with the first 70, and probably the next will follow depending upon the availability of resources. Mr. Speaker, I should commend the Speaker and leadership at least for the exchanges between Parliament and the Office of the President that resulted into some additional allocation for the capex of Parliament to undertake this. so that MPs in their constituencies will not operate in their party offices, but have dedicated offices of state. Because as MPs, you represent not just members of your party, but the citizens within that defined geographical area. Mr. Speaker, we are also assured that Wi-Fi presence is not the best for Parliament. The strength of bandwidth and internet connectivity is low. Some deployment will be done in respect of that. Mr. Speaker, Parliament did well in COVID, preventing and combating it, and the conduct of testing which was done, not just for officers of the parliamentary service, but also for members of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, our Public Affairs Secretariat, there is some recommendation to up and increase their allocation, improve our engagement with Ghanaian citizens to appreciate better what we do as a house. Mr. Speaker, so I wholeheartedly support the motion moved on behalf of the leader. And Mr. Speaker, employees, we've seen some increase, which is to accommodate some anticipated increases arising out of the Article 71 report. So there will be some adjustment, upward adjustment in terms of the incomes, and that accounts for the increase in the compensation budget for Parliament. The fiscal infrastructure project was completed and handed over to us, Mr. Speaker, if you recall. And our legislative function, Mr. Speaker, I support the notion that the Office of Scrutiny and a Budget Act, we should begin working towards it. We should have a Budget Act as it pertains in other jurisdictions for the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the amount of time, I've just been reading an Africa report on the approval of the Tema port, and it reveals in their words, they say, an unwitting Parliament. We must depart from that as Parliament and be thorough in demanding value for money. We should have time expended on research to understand that every resource we commit means something to the Ghanaian taxpayer and can be a consequence to the taxpayer. So, Mr. Speaker, the e-Parliament should be deployed in earnest, and will continue to exercise our role as representatives of the people. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Right, Honourable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of the motion moved by the Chief Whip and supported by the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, just to make these few points. Mr. Speaker, we thank everybody for allocating this amount for the services of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I want to make these few points. On the amount of money available to support committees to do their oversight work. Mr. Speaker, in last Parliament, it appears many committees could not draw down to this. And when they make the request, leadership